Regrets. That's the one where there was the woman and then her husband was in the hospital, and she did a lot of projecting from her own experiences onto her daughter. Perfect, we'll come to you.
Yeah, so, I mean, my take on it was that she had regret that she wasn't there at the last moments with him, and she regretted that she thought he, had done something to the daughter. But my understanding is that there still was domestic violence going on, or at least a history of it. So I'm not sure why she was so regretful.
No, I think there's a lot of things that you can actually be regretful, it sounds like, in this film based off your guys' feedback, right?
I guess I thought the regret was that the daughter had left, and I felt that she had left because of the mom, which was evident at the end, and that the mom had made her life miserable and made her husband's life miserable because she felt that the father was like her father, and he wasn't, and so the whole family, it was a regret for the whole situation of the whole family.
So the lady's dad and her husband both have abusive, anger management. But from her childhood, where her dad just, maybe abused her sexually, and she had to give her that look, the same look that her daughter gave her when, the husband kissed the daughter's sleeve. Maybe it's the wrong sign, maybe nothing happened, but to her, that was something. Because back then she was abused, and she had to tell her mom that everything is fine. I think that's what, yeah. And at the end in the hospital, he said, you forget everything, and she's like, yeah, I forget everything. Maybe they talked about it, at the end.
Interesting.
In regard to there was domestic abuse going on, I feel like the filmmaker set it up to make it look like there was domestic abuse going on, but there was never a situation where he was angry and he was upset and he would probably been accused, or like he had found something that had accused her and he threw something at some point and she wasn't in the room when he threw it, and he was and he was yelling at her and he would say things like, "I'm not your parents," and things like that. And I didn't ever see a point where he was actually abusive directly to her. I saw anger, and it seemed like more like a frustration. But I think the filmmaker did a good job of making you question, was he abusive? Is that what was going on?
I think the director wanted to set up a situation where she could show how ambiguous sometimes these things can be. Sometimes they're not as clear, and so all of us are trying to figure things out. But for sure, there was a mistake in this case, where the father was not at all guilty. So perhaps that was her point of view, and the reason for making this complicated, ambiguous film. I guess it's a lot of.
Well, I think that in her mind, based on the past experiences she had with her family, I think over time it culminated in this image of him, portrayed of him, and then which she couldn't really control, regardless of what he wanted to talk to her about, or if he wanted to grab a drink. The second he said it's just one drink, she kind of, now that I'm thinking about it, she might have maybe overreacted, or maybe went back to a place where, she saw her father in him, and the weird part was when he was in the room with their daughter, he kissed her goodnight. Then the mother looked at the daughter. She opened her eyes, and it was kind of just like, I don't know if it was some sort of reassurance, like nothing happened, but it was a lot of empty holes. I mean, and now that we're talking about it, I'm kind of trying to piece things together. But domestic violence between them two, I think, like he said. He said that, I'm not your parents. So I think he did have a clenched fist in the room after throwing the picture frame. So I don't know. It's just still kind of confusing.
So, I think the scene that I saw was when they were in the garage and she was down on the floor screaming, and then they told the girl to go back upstairs and they closed the door. So I don't know what that was.
That was her parents.
Oh, that was her parents. Okay. And thank you for clarifying.
Revelation.
Yeah, revelation.
I can see what was going on with that one, with that she had experienced it and she was projecting it onto her husband and assuming her husband was doing the same thing that her father had done. I wanted to know if she had caused him to be in the hospital in the first place, because it wasn't really ever addressed. It was just he was in the hospital, and then she said he's gone, and she was sad that when her daughter said he never touched me, but was the regrets that she had done something to kill him, or that's what I want to know. So that's what I want. I wanted just a little more of a hint that did she poison him or something. You know, I just wanted some sort of hint that maybe she had been the cause of his demise.
Did anybody see that she had caused him to be in the hospital? Did anybody view it that way?
Well, now I just assumed that like she'd done something like broken a leg or what. Like I just assumed that that's why it was there in the first place. I don't know. It didn't come from anywhere. I just assumed. So then when she left, I was like, oh, she did something like pulled the plug or whatever, and that's why he died. Like I thought he was in there all because of her. So I don't know.
Awesome, great points. I appreciate you guys giving your feedback, and all these different interpretations are really fun. All right, let's.